No.
Journals. And that is the reason we felt the urge to come up with a publishing program. This is the website. It's called RTOP, which is a short form for research to publication, rtop.bmj.com. I'll come to the part again how all of those, but let me first give you an overview about this resource. So as it says, this is the publishing program, and what this platform has to offer you is there are 8 courses in this platform. And if you click on find out more, it follows these 8 courses follow the complete research cycle. And to start with, this is the first course, which is how to develop and report about research question. And second is developing and writing protocols. Third is choosing the best study design, how to do analytical research, how to write a research paper, essentials of running clinical trials, picking the right journal, and avoiding scientific misconduct. Now, in these 8 courses, there are 52 modules. So you don't have to be alarmed about the huge number of modules, because we have had doctors who have just 2 days back we were in BLD and we met one of the doctors who was able to complete all the 52 modules in just 2 days. So it's not easy. So what you need to keep in mind, let's say that there is a scenario that you feel that you are well versed in some of the aspects of this publishing cycle. For example, you may not want to do how to develop and report a research question. That's absolutely fine. But the main highlight of this resource is that if you are able to complete a minimum of 5 modules from these 8 courses, then you are eligible for a 100% ATC waiver to be able to publish with any of the BMJ open access journals. Yeah, so if you are able to complete any 5 modules from those 8 courses that was just shown, then you are eligible for a 100% ATC waiver to be able to publish in any of the BMJ open access journals. What is your cost? Article processing charges. So there are no article processing charges if you are able to complete any 5 modules from the resource. And where you will find that information is analytical.
Yeah. Because the thing is, in a research to publication homepage, you can go to the benefits and you just go to open access discounts. There, the steps to claim the discount is mentioned clearly. So if these are the steps. You will just log on to research to publication, complete a minimum of 5 modules, and then submit your article with any of the BMJ group journals. We are publishing around 70 journals. So any of the BMJ group journals you can publish. These are our online and print journals available. For example, in anesthesia, we have regional anesthesia and pain medicine. For cardiology, we have heart, and open access is open heart. So similarly, for almost all the specialties, we are covering the journals with, there are 70 journals. So in these journals, you can publish open access. I'm just considering the open BMJ open. This is our flagship open access journal, having a decent impact factor around 2.692. So I'm just sharing you. So this is having a decent acceptance rate also, 40%. And imagine the article crossing charges normally an international publisher will charge. So it's around 2,000 pounds. That means in Indian rupee it is around almost 2 lakh rupees for publishing an article with the BMJ open. So now with the completion of 5 modules with the research to publication, you are saving this 2,000 pounds. So the institution, Ramaiah Medical College has facilitated you with the opportunity to get unlimited publication with BMJ group journals. So all you need to do is after completing the 5 modules, you have to just write an email to apc.journals@bmj.com and you will be provided with a discount code. So normally, when you submit an article, there will not be any initial payment or anything. Only at the time when your article is accepted, a standard recruiter journal will be asking for the payment. So at the time of payment, you can just redeem that discount code like Amazon voucher. You can just redeem that discount code and your payments become zero. And hence you can achieve the publication. So that's the step. And the thing is, this email ID which you use for research publication, the same has to be used for submitting the articles also as the correspondent email ID. So that's the only request from the side of BMJ. No, it's valid for any number of articles. Unlimited publishing opportunity.
We can also take them through the login process, how you can register.
I think can any volunteers come forward?
Anybody from the
Anyone, please.
Just want to do a small demo. You can.
Yeah, please come on.
So all you need to do, the first option available to all of you is that the institution's IP. The second one is that if you go to rtalk.bmj.com, this would be the home page.
First, just click that URL.
And then you need to go to the register tab.
So now you can scroll down. If you see, there will be 2 options. Please scroll down. Scroll down. Yeah. If you have an access code, register here. If you do not have an access code, register here. The second option is, suppose if you are connected with your institutional IP network, that is, if you are taking from the library network computers, you can use the second option to create your account. And once after creating your account, then you can go home and use the same username and password, and you can access it as per your convenience. Suppose if you are, in your home, or if you want to use your mobile internet to create an account, use the first option, access code. For the time being, you use the first option.
Just a second. And just can we go to the slide so that I can show the audience can also register themselves? Just a second.
I will take it.
So I'm going to display a QR code. So all of you also can just open the camera of your phone and register yourself.
Yeah.
So just open the camera and scan the QR code. It will take you to the My Account page. Are you all on the My Account page? You can come forward and scan if you're not able to do it from there. Just provide the information that is requested in each of the steps. They are just simple, very simple 5 steps. You can come forward, sir. Yeah. Not able to scan?
Oh, yes.
Are you able to scan? They're not able to scan.
I think because the internet,
Yes, it is.
internet policy decides.
So, no worries if you're not able to scan. We'll share the library link.
Or else instead of scanning, you can also directly go to the URL in the website. Okay. Yeah.
Go to the URL, it's rtalk.bm. Open whatever browser your mobile has.
The mobile you just open R2B. Yeah, rtalk.bmj.com.
some network issue here. That's why. So I'm just open any browser. Google or why is that? So go to art.bmj.com.
r2b.bmj.com and then click register and then scroll down and click if you have an access code. Yeah, give your own email ID, your personal email ID. The same email ID has to be used for submitting articles also.
It will take 2-3 minutes for all of you to get through the process. So,
Do we have to use the MSRMC email ID or our personal email ID?
Personal is also fine.
Is that your article which you will be submitting should be from the same email ID you are submitting articles?
Yeah.
They're asking us to enter a BMA number.
No, you can skip the BMA number. Only the fields which are mentioned with the asterisk, the red color star, only those things are mandatory. Others are not mandatory.
Sorry, can you please display the access code again?
So the access code information,
Scroll down. Yeah, that's your.
This, right?
Yeah. Click the first option and just click primary key for come down, scroll down. There's some difference.
I'll just take the access code in a bit.
So the access code is
536
5,
536
Yeah.
980
0,
5103.
5, 1, 0.
98. It's 536 980 5103. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
536
click on photo access to public.
980 5103. So,
No, I'm logging.
Yeah.
so we have, Dr. Babita has already logged this. She's been able to create. This is it's just very simple. You want the QR code? Anand, can we have the QR code once again? Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. So,
Excuse me, can you just put the access code in the chat box?
Yeah, sure.
yes, we can do that. In fact, just to display the slide of this one. It will have the QR. So, this is the QR code, sorry, the access code in front of all of you is 536 980 5103. It is okay if you are not able to register right now. We will be circulating a user-friendly document to the library team, which will also be shared with each one. Just watch out for the information that will be circulated. Okay. So, any questions on this particular resource? It's very simple. So once you create your account, you can always go back, go to your account and check on the modules that you started. It's very flexible. And as I said, there are 52 modules and 5 is the number that you need to complete to be able to have the eligibility to have 100% article processing charges waiver to publish with any BMJ open access journals.
And one more information, if you are completing the entire program, that is 52 modules, you will be also provided with a consolidated certificate where we will be having the joint certification with Ramaiah Medical College, BMJ, and UC as well. Actually, this certificate will be quite useful for an institution when there is any, further NABH or NAC or NIR of, processes happening in our institution. At the time, these certificates will carry a value for our institution. It will help our institution for better scoring in that process.
What are indexations?
Ma'am, all our journals are indexed in PubMed, Scopus, Budline, and almost 80% of the journals are indexed in Web of Science. We are trying for getting indexed in Web of Science with all the journals also, but journals are indexed over there. And most of them are in the quartile Q1, Q2, most of the journals. That information is available in each journal's homepage also. You can just, I'll just show you where it is available. I'm just taking you to the journal. So the URL is journals.bmj.com. So here, for example, I'm just considering BMJ open. So in about section, all the details will be mentioned. Impact factor and other information, and it is indexed in Web of Science, Science Citation Index Expanded, Medline, PubMed, Scopus, and Base. And most of our journals are also having quite a decent acceptance rate. This is the based on 2020 statistics. For BMJ Open, it is 40%. And there are some journals like BMJ Open Quality, they have 56% acceptance rate. Yeah.
All right. So if So we'll now move on to our next resource, which is BMJ case report. Again, a very, very popular resource amongst the doctors across all the premium institutes in India. And to give you an overview about what is BMJ case reports, it is it's a platform that has over 30,000 cases. So it's one of the world's largest repository of case reports. On this platform, again, all of you have access to this resource. And on this platform, you would have access to those 30,000 cases from 140 countries. So Anand, if you can go to the website directly. The link for the website is casereports.bmj.
Is it not there? Yeah.
So yes, this is the website for BMJ case reports. And as I just mentioned, you can browse through all of those 30,000 case reports from 140 countries on this platform. And they are all arranged, can you go to the scroll down the page? They are all arranged specialty wise under the case report by specialty data. Now, many a times the doctors assume that BMJ case reports is only about publishing rare cases. That is not true. BMJ case report basically means that whatever you see every day, and on this tab, you will also find various other types of cases. It may not associated with it. It can be case where there has come from the error or maybe have been excluded. So that's the type of which means basically any doctor, any specialty across any specialty, when they go to your case report, they should be understand what is the learning value this particular case report has. So I just want to show you how you can browse through case reports. So we go to the search tab here and we'll type in cardiomyopathy as one of the keywords here. So when I type in cardiomyopathy, just like Google search, I hit on the search tab here and it will show up around 40 cases show up. How a typical case is structure of the case report. 1068 case, the first case, alcoholic cardiomyopathy. Most of the cases are supported by their videos and images, and you can also download these images and videos directly onto a PowerPoint by clicking on download PowerPoint and use it for teaching or discussion purpose. On the left side of the page, and you can also download the case report in PDF form also by clicking onto click a PDF tab there. And on the home page, on the left side of this page, as you all can see, so this is the PDF of the case report. We'll go back to the page. Yeah. On the left side of the page, you can see there are various tabs. Article info is a tab that basically gives out information on publication history of the case report, the author information. Second tab is about citation tools. So if you wish to download any citation from these case reports, you can do that with the help of these tool managers. And you can also share these case reports amongst your peers and colleagues within the same institute. You can submit your responses and it will reach our editorial team. Information on the article metrics as to how many times the case report has been downloaded is available under the article metrics tab. And if you wish to follow a certain case report, just provide your email address, and in case if there is any movement, you will keep getting the alerts. So we'll go back to the BMJ case reports homepage. And now I will take you through the most important aspect of BMJ case report, which is on how you can submit a case report. The first step, and this is where I would request everyone to pay attention. The first step is that it requires you to spend time on the instructions of authors, because many a times the reasons for the case reports to get rejected is because the author was not aware of the information that is already given out here. It could be with regard to the patient consent form, the editorial policy, the formatting of the images, and even what are the types of templates that BMJ case report has. So I'll take you through two tabs here. The first one is how to write for BMJ case report. So please note there are three types of templates that BMJ case report has. The first one is full case template, second is image or video based template, and the third is global health template. What is a global health template? So if your case has a regional or maybe an economic aspect, then it becomes a global health case. For example, let's say there's a village somewhere nearby and there's a factory in that village, and due to the air pollutant or due to the drainage water, people around that village are getting affected, then it becomes a global health case template. And the approximate word limit is 5,000 words. If your case has more to do with images or videos, then there's a second template that you need to refer to. And these templates, I'll just take you through the template also. And the word limit is only 500 words. And we come to the full case template. So rest of all your clinical cases would come under full case template. And we'll just have a look at the template. This is the template. It's a simple Word document. On the first page of this document, as you all can see, there are some checklist questions. For example, the first instruction here is, have you read through the author's instruction tab? Because that's something I also mentioned to you, that why it is important. Why? Because there are some common errors that authors tend to make and we would want to avoid that. So this is basically, so when the moment you open this tab, this is just, you just have to tick them mentally. Okay, yes, I'm aware of the fellowship code. I'm also aware that BMJ case report only allows maximum of 4 authors, and so on and so forth. So you just go through and mentally take all of them, and then you go and delete the first page. And after that begins the template, actual template. So the template, as you can see, is structured accordingly the way case report is published. So we start with the title of the case. And as you all can see, there are tips under each of these headings. For example, under the title of the case, we've mentioned that you need not start the title of the case report by saying a case report on. You know why? Because it is a case report and you're publishing with BMJ case report, so it's understood that it is a case report only. Similarly, it also says do not use cryptic or humorous or play on word titles. Do not make the titles mysterious. Because the moment the editorial team sees such titles, it is immediately rejected. So that is something you need to keep in mind. The titles have to be very simple, clinical, or boring. You know, it's just that. Similarly, I'll also talk about the summary part. The summary has to be about 150 words. Why? Because BMJ case report is indexed in PubMed and Scopus. So the moment anybody is searching through your case, the case report appears, the abstract needs to be compelling enough for that person to come and read through your case report. You can just scroll down further. So similarly, you'll find tips under each of these headings, and we'll come to the images and video section here, Anand.
No, this is a standard case template.
Okay. So you will also find the figures and just go up a little. Now, figures and video captions. You do not have to copy paste your images here. There is a different place to do that. You just have to mention the very brief description about what figure 1 is, what figure 2 is. Is it X-ray of chest, X-ray of the scan? Just give a very brief description. I just want to show one example of a patient perspective here, which is the next. Can we go to the slide? So this is the reason I want to highlight this patient perspective part is because what is it that we are looking for? So when we talk about patient perspective, we are looking for the patient's voice. So I'm going to read through the first 2 lines of this example here. It says in 2007, there was a boil in my mouth, which is not healing. So I went to a doctor, some tests were done, it was found that I had diabetes. So when you're reading through, do you feel that the patient is talking to you? And that's what we are looking for. It has to be, the whole platform is around patient-centric. So the patient perspective has to be exactly in the same words as the patient has mentioned to you. There can be scenarios where the patient is not well versed with English. Absolutely fine. Just you as an author can translate that into English, and that's absolutely fine with us. Now we go back to the page, home page, author's instruction tab. And here I am going to talk about the patient perspective information. So we go back to the case report web page. We'll go to instruction for authors. And where you will find the patient perspective information is right under this tab here. Click on patient consent form. So patient consent form, please note that BMJ does not accept any cases without the patient consent form. That's a mandatory requirement. Institutions do have their own patient consent form, but it is important that when you decide to publish with BMJ case report, you need to have the BMJ's consent form template. The reason is because we as a medical publisher, this particular template is legally vetted. That is why it is important for us to have this patient consent form. It is available in various languages. There are various types of patient consent form. There is a patient consent form for diseased patients, children, patients who lack capacity, and images of patient. If you scroll down the page below, you will see that various language options available for you. So as of now, we have it in English, English, Hindi, Marathi, Tamil. We soon also have it in Kannada. There may be scenarios where the patient is only well versed with their regional languages, and that's absolutely fine. You may request either any of the relatives if they are well versed with English. If not, then the patient consent form can also be filled in their own regional language. And let's say if the patient is not literate, you can also fill up the form on their behalf and get the thumb impression. That will also do. So this is the patient consent form. It's a simple 2-pager document. They're only asking for some very basic information, as you can see. The address and the date of birth. It's a very simple, not at all a complicated document. So please do keep in mind, the moment you decide that you would like to publish a certain case report, you need to have the patient consent form with you. So now we'll go back to the next step, which is how you can submit the case report. Now this is it's a very easy and a technical step. I'll just take you through the steps here. So once you have spent time on the instruction for authors tab, as I said, I just spoke about 2 very important aspects, but then there's other information also that you need to be aware of, and that's why it's important. So you can just mention my email address, Anand. The first requirement. So first requirement for you to be able to submit a case report is that you need to have an ORCID ID. And if you do not have one, you can create one. Okay, I'll just put in my. So once you create your ORCID ID, it will direct you to a page like this, which says you have to click on author tab here. When you click onto the author tab, delete that tab. The page that will appear in front of you is like this. It says begin submission. So click on begin submission. And immediately the next step requires you to choose the template, whether your case report is a full case or an image or video based. So I'm going to choose full case template as the option here. And then you can see, already you can see these 6 steps. Step 1, which basically requires you to provide the information on the type, title, summary. So all you need to do here is just provide the information is requested in each of the steps. Step 2 is where you need to upload the patient consent form. And also if there are any videos and images supporting your case report. Step 3 is about choosing the right keywords. It is important that you choose the right keywords because you as an author would want that more and more doctors are able to find your case report. Step 4 is something all of you need to pay attention to. This is where you need to mention the fellowship code. So now what is a fellowship code? It's a unique number that has been given to MS Ramaiah Medical College. Why this fellowship code is important? Because the moment you mention the fellowship code here along with the name of the institute, then there are no article processing charges that you have to pay. And you can submit as many cases as you want in a year. And the information on the fellowship code is also available. And we can go back to the slide. It's mentioned in the slide. So, this is a fellowship code for MS Ramaiah, and this is required only at the time of submission of the case report, which is 3001174.
Does this keep changing every
No,
No.
it will remain constant for each and every doctor, and you can submit as many cases as you want in a year.
We can change on the request of the institution, ma'am.
And again, if you miss out on any information, and right now there's so much of information that is being given out, and whenever in future you feel that you would want to have some refresher on this, all these information that is being given, please feel free to reach out to the BMJ team or the library team also. We have provided them with collectors providing all this information. So that's the information on fellowship course. So please note that you need to mention this fellowship code when you are submitting a case report to be able to avoid the article processing charges.
There was a question online, will these codes be forwarded to their email ID? Convention, yes.
So yes, we will be sharing the information on the access code and the fellowship code and the process to submission of case report also. And if you can just, to all the online participants also, just go to this slide.
Yeah.
No.
This is like their one.
So this one. So just whatever I just said right now, this is the summary of it. How you can submit a case report. You can just take a screen grab of this. It only requires you to go to the case reports website. Then what the next steps are given below. And now we come to how you can access this resource. Again, through the institutional ID. We also have a user ID password for all of you, so that even if you want to access the resource from your home, you can also do that. And the information is also available with your library team, and it will also be circulated through a user learning document. Can we have a look at? Anand, can we go to the slide once again? We just hand draw that.
Yeah.
Slide 10. Click on the case report. So I'm just going to show a very simple example here that this is a case report where the author has had supported the case report with all the required scans and images, and they are all well annotated also. Just scroll down. So these are the images of ultrasound, and as you can see, they are all well annotated also. Just to make the learning even more simpler for any other doctor also, he has gone to the extent of providing the information to the hand-drawn diagram also. So I just wanted to highlight this, that this is what we are looking for when you are trying to submit a case report. So I believe we have provided the information about how you can submit case report, what are the things you need to keep in mind. Any questions on the resource? We'll be happy to take online as well as.
Yeah. We'll take this one and
What's the question?
no.
Huh.
At
Oh,
the
yes.
time of
So in the last step. Last step is about step 6, which says review and submit. So once you have uploaded the images, the patient consent form, you provided the fellowship code, you provided all the information required in each of the steps. Last step is where you can review your manuscript. And if you happen to see anything which is highlighted in red, it is basically an indication for you to go back to that step and provide the information. In my case, it's a dummy, submission, so everything is highlighted. So that's something you just need to keep in mind. It's all clickable. It will take you back to the step which requires you to submit the information. So that's the submission part of case reports. Yes, sir. Fellowship code?
yeah, in step 4.
Step 4 is where you need to mention the fellowship code here. Here. This is where you need to mention. It says I or my institution is a fellow of BMJ case report. No, sir. It's unique for the institution. So whether it is you, whether it is ma'am, anybody can provide that fellowship code while you are trying to submit your case report. How long it will be valid? For ma'am, as long as the institution has subscription to the resource. So 1 year?
1 year.
Yes. As of now, it is 1 year. 1 year.
Access is limited to the institutional ID or even.
Sir, so there is.
Not December, ma'am, it will be till February 28th. February.
Right, the institution. You can do that. The user ID password information is available on the Sandy website. it is also available with the library team. We will, if there is a registration that has happened, we'll try and circulate it through email also. I will do that.
You can provide it, we'll circulate the email to all the faculty from college.
Sure. So we'll come up with the user journey program. I need 2 days. I need to get back to Delhi and then I'll.
Yeah, sure, no worries.
One is already circulated to Nanda Kumar.
As well. So
So that from that we'll learn.
Yeah.
yeah. Any further questions? If there are no further questions, then I'm going to ask some questions.
I
Okay.
missed out on.
Uh,
Yeah, regarding the case reports, ma'am, there are three templates. The one is standard case report template, the image based and the global health template. Normally, the standard case reports, usually the acceptance rate is around 40 to 45%. Whereas if it is an image based template, then it is around 80 to 85%. And for normally for the global health case reports, lately there are no rejections as of now. Almost 99% of the case reports which are submitted in global health template gets accepted. Because global health case report is usually considered as a powerful document, which can be even submitted to the governmental bodies or WHO, where they can make any healthcare policy decisions also. So for example, even around Bangalore or in and around Karnataka, if you are trying to prepare some global health case reports, that can be, even submitted with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare of Karnataka government. And that can be used for making any policy decisions also. So BMJ case report has got that kind of recognition with the medical community. And so these three are the usual things. Normally images and video based template also try to only show the part of the, subject. Don't show the face or even, masking the face, even that one is also not considered. Just the area of study, the only on the subject, only that is required for the image based case report, not the entire thing. And for videos also, normally we look at the videos for maximum of 1 to 2 minutes, not much. Because a huge surgical procedure or anything is not going to make any value. What actually the doctor want to say, that alone is required in the video based template. For example, our chief editor, she is from the surgery background. So if there is a doctor from ophthalmology or someone who is trying to explain a case report, just explain it in a very simple language. You can also give some background noise to the video and some annotations or any explanation so that she is able to understand. And even a non-medical person is able to understand that case report. So that's the way we expect actually. And so far, we have not rejected any case report based on the grammar things. So BMJ is very generous on that. Even if there is a grammar mistake also, we will just try to correct it from our side and we will try to publish. We only look at the content of the study and that should have a novel learning value.
Do we have any questions from the online participants? Yes, ma'am.
So it comes to publication.
Yes.
It said,
Which you have completed, that's enough actually. We need not to, take again the course and do everything. You just have to submit once again to them to get a new code. It's like Amazon voucher now. Where, sir? Sir, when you are submitting, that is in a, because for each journal, for example, I'll take you online. This is for BMJ case reports.
accepted that I'm
Yeah. For example, in BMJ open, so in this page, you are going to here submit an article. In this, It will be taking you again to the manuscript central platform. And there, once, because this one is quite different, because this deals with the protocols also, original research articles also. So you have to, give your manuscript, and once you submit here, in this step, it will be asking for the payment actually at the time of acceptance. There is no, in between other submission charges or nothing is there. At the time of acceptance, it will be asking for a payment, and BMJ will be sending you the payment page. There you have to enter the code, discount code, and your payment will get 100% rate off. So this is applicable for each and every journal actually. You have to visit the individual journal page, and then you have to start submission process. You can just go through the scope of each and every journal, and then choose the journal where you want to publish your article, and then you can do that. Sometimes you might have published submitted with BMJ Open, and our editors might be feeling that this will be a good article for another journal, say BMJ Global Health. Then they will also give their suggestion, and then you can start submission with other journals. So that once you start the submission process, you'll be able to understand all the steps.
What's the time to accept?
Ma'am, for BMJ case reports, usually the 21 days we have time for first decision. Ma'am. But in some cases, if the reviewers are unable to provide comments on time, because last 2 years we were facing issues on logistics also due to pandemic, and we were quite difficult to find the reviewers on time. So in those cases, in some case reports it was about 45 to 50 days also. But most likely it will be done within 21 days. The first decision will be there. And after the decision, it is 15 days now. Once the decision is accepted, after that it will be within 15 days. It will be published.
So.
Yeah. This is for case reports, and for other journals also. For BMJ Open, they have mentioned as 40 days as that is the average. And for some journals, it is around 12 days also. So it depends on the journal actually.
Should we click and find out the number of journals under that in our subject? Yes, we come up with that.
Yeah.
Under BMJ, 170 journals are there, is it?
No, it's 70 now. 70 journals are there.
As for all your specialties.
Almost none. I'll just tell you. Actually, BMJ has some deficiency in some areas also, but most of the clinical areas are highly covered now. For example, anesthesiology, cardiology, then emergency medicine, general medicine, medical humanities we have. Dermatology we don't have one.
Anatomy.
For anatomy, you can go for preclinical research fund. This journal, BMJ Open Science is there. This is for preclinical subjects.
That's what.
Ma'am,
Specialties asked.
it depends on the study. For example, if you are doing in dermatology, as if you are doing on anything like skin cancer or anything, then you can submit with our oncology journal. So, yeah, that's it. But we are also trying to commission a journal with the dermatology. And might be within 6 months or some time, it will be also coming into BMJ. We are trying in the commissioning process. Pathology, we have Journal of Clinical Pathology. And for surgery also we have few open access journals, and we also have an affinity. For pharmacology also, this is there, and in general medicine there is one journal called Drug and Therapeutics Bulletin. So this is also a well-known journal for pharmacology. So normally, only for publishing in open access, there is an article processing fee. So in all the journals, we actually have a hybrid model. Even if it is a subscription-based journal, for example, Journal of Clinical Pathology also, there will be some articles which will be made open access. So that one you can select as so that you know your article becomes open access so that there will be more citations for your article. Any other questions?
Is the access code also applicable for BMJ learning or it's only for journals? The
Access.
BMJ learning, the access code which was.
That's only for research to publication.
So that is not for BMJ learning.
No.
BMJ
No,
learning.
BMJ learning.
Online courses.
For that, our college has not taken a subscription now.
Okay.
If the subscription is made, we will be happy to extend that.
I think it will not be possible to do the courses.
Where, ma'am?
Unless you have another set of courses which BMJ has.
The BMJ learning, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, currently, you can take an individual subscription, ma'am. For members of Karnataka Medical Council, we have a special price because BMJ learning is accredited by Karnataka Medical Council. So for that, you can also do the individual subscription. It is somewhere 4,500 rupees only. It's a special price we are providing, where you can have the access to almost 1,800 learning modules across 70 specialties. So that is on BMJ learning. Research to publication is a separate course, but it is posted on the BMJ learning platform. Thank you. Ma'am, BMJ learning is an online CME platform, ma'am. Which are evidence based, peer reviewed, and it is accredited by various medical councils. And Karnataka Medical Council also has.
Modules on platform on various topics.
So like research to publication, there are many modules, around 1,800 modules are there. For example, basic life support, and just telling you. There will be some voiceover and text, and at the end of the module, there will be an assessment. So if you clear the assessment, then you can avail a certificate. That certificate will be having KMC accreditation. And that has CME credits also.
Okay. So,
Any further questions?
Questions?
Is the patient consent compulsory?
Yes, ma'am.
We do cadaveric study. Ours is.
Ma'am, for anatomy, if you do cadaveric study, no problem, ma'am. You can just send the manuscript to us. I can send it personally to my chief editor, and she will give the suggestion, ma'am. Once she gives the green signal, then it's fine. Only for anatomy, that's the case, because there are some cadaveric studies also mentioned in the BMJ platform. Yeah, you can submit directly to me, ma'am. Directly to myself. My contact details will be mentioned, ma'am. Yeah, you can send it to me.
That you will be separating to all.
Yeah, it will be. Yes, ma'am.
We just show our contact details, and in such a scenario, you can always reach out to Anand. I realize it's 1:00. It's 5 minutes past 1:00. So we'll conclude the session. Before we do that, let's just make it more interactive. I have got 5 giveaways to the audience sitting here and as well as online. So Anand will ask some questions based on the information that I just provided.
Yeah.
All you need to do is just raise your hand. Do not, the questions are going to be very simple. So just raise your hand, and if you answer it correctly, you will get a gift. Okay. All right. So my first question, should we ask our online audience first?
Yeah, I think we ask the online.
Yeah. So
They will be able to hear you.
okay. So this is only for the online audience. Okay. So what is the minimum number of modules that you are required to do to be able to get 100% ATC waiver so that you can publish with PMC open access journals?
Online participants.
Online participants. Just a second, just a second. Has anyone answered?
No.
No.
Wait, let's open. Yeah, you come online also.
There's a chat.
Fine. That's the correct answer. And may I have the name, please? Dr. Sunesh.
Yeah.
All right, that was a very, very easy question. We'll go to ask very easy question. So, what should be the next question, Anna? Should research publication only?
Yeah, in research publication, how about joint certification? Can you ask on that?
Joint certification.
Yeah, how many modules need to be completed? I have already informed that. So on completing certain modules, BMJ will be providing a joint certification. Yeah, that's correct. Your name, Doctor?
Dr. Mohan.
Okay, so we have got two reasons. Now we move on to the next resource, which is BMJ case reports. Okay. All right. The first question for BMJ case report is, what are the three very important requirements for you to publish with BMJ case report?
Without those three,
Without those three, you will not be able to publish. So just raise your
even you can't enter into the platform.
just raise it. Okay, so we'll break it. We'll break it. So I'll have one from each of you. Yes. Okay, we'll have, don't say it out. Okay, ma'am. What's the first one? No. No, no, no. It's like that is what is it called? Yes. So out of the three, ma'am has answered to one, which is fellowship code. Without the fellowship code, you will not be able to submit without it.
Instruction to all this is very.
Mandatory. No, this is mandatory, like what ma'am said. Okay.
Your name? Two answers came, one more has
So
not come.
one more is the left. Just raise your hand. We have patient consent form.
Someone said informed consent.
So he said that we have.
Yeah, someone said informed consent.
Yeah.
Yeah, your name's,
Three things, right?
yeah,
So we have fellowship code.
RC ID.
So we have got all the three answers correct.
So, sir, your name?
He said.
So, another question, Anish.
Yeah, we have a difficult question.
We have a difficult question.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is a question. For submitting the original research articles or anything and getting accepted, now which will be the email ID you will be using? No, to which is the corresponding BMJ email ID?
Just raise your hand.
The email ID which you will be sending to, yeah, the email which you will.
Just check.
The email ID which you will be sending to BMJ.
BMJ.com. APC.journals@BMJ.
We have a winner.
Your name, sir?
We have 5 winners.
Yeah, we'll have one more.
So one more last question. Should it be easy or difficult?
Discount code is valid for how many articles? Can be that. The discount code you claim for from the research publication, how it is valid for how many articles?
Just raise your hand.
The first one, that
One article only, one code for one article. You have to get another code for the next article.
okay. Your name, ma'am?
So we have one from each of the rows. Maximum from there.
I think your
So we'll be sending out these gifts to the library team, and we'll also send out, please provide your contact number so that once it is sent to the institute, we will send in a message to all of you.
and kindly share us a feedback also. I think
So now, it's on behalf of history, you can just share your feedback with us.
Where is the
Slide.
slide missing? But
All right, you've been a wonderful audience. Thank you for your patient listening. And we're looking for a slide.
this is just a moment, ma'am. We will just. Yeah, it's there sir, in the presentation. We'll open and include.
So you can just take a note of it. It is pnair@bmj.com. That's my email address. The slide has suddenly vanished from the laptop. So just a second.
Can just
Open a Word document and we just mention it.
we have this one also. Just. Okay, 14 slides.
So that's on the email address. It's pnair@bmj.com. The number is 4 times 9. It's ranand@bmj.com. The number is 9500645946. It is 9999. 4 times 9, 097302. You can highlight that. Yeah.
We'll just put in a different font color. Blue color will be
Go for the slide. Green color. It's okay.
green.
Yeah. What is the slideshow on? Yeah. Pooja Nair, pnair@bmj.com.
Box somewhere else.
outside the-
Go
to the next slide.
Plain right back to the platform.
Copy. Yeah, copy the put it in slide number.
Make it a blue now.
Select. Start. Yeah.
This is also okay.
This is Pooja's contact. And submit their feedback. Next QR code. Fine. This is the feedback form actually.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Division of Research, we know that publications are the final stages of any research that we do, and achieving, and we all know how important in these times achieving high quality publications is for professional growth, both at personal level as well as growth of the institute. And in this regard, Ramaiah Medical College, having gotten access to resources from such a prestigious journal, goes a long way in helping us to achieve our publication goals. So I thank Ms. Pooja and Mr. Anand, the representatives of BMJ, for having come down and explaining in such detail about how we can access both these resources, that is the research to publication as well as the BMJ case report. I would, the Division of Research and Patents would like to present small mementos to both of them as a token of gratitude. So I request
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would also like to thank our audience, both virtual as well as physical audience, for your active participation. And it's now over to us to try and make maximum benefit of these two resources and be able to achieve our publication goals. Thank you very much. And if in case there's any communication required to our BMJ team, the Division of Research and Patents will always be around to try and help communicate and match the mediator between you and BMJ team also. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for my good night.
Did we get that?